The reason why you're not progressing, or the reason why you feel like you're hitting a ceiling, is because you're unwilling to sacrifice. And the reason why you're not progressing is because you're confused, right? You're listening to so many different voices outside of yourself that you don't know what next move to make. So you're stuck in this conundrum where you want to do this and you want to do that, but yet this person says do it like this, and yet this person says do it like that. But really, the person that you should be listening to is you. The person that you should be listening to most often is you, because you hold all the answers you need to become the greatest version of yourself and to put you in a position that allows you to be just that. And that also requires sacrifice as well, because the thing is, when you sacrifice, you essentially have the ability to pivot quickly instead of holding on to things that don't serve you, thinking that, well, if I stick it out, then maybe this will happen, or the outcome would be more rewarding, right? Now, understand the difference between being consistent and being insane. Consistency is when you have a system you use every single day, and it helps you to put you in a position that allows you to achieve your goals in a more effective way. And then there's insanity, where you're doing something over and over and over again, expecting different results, thinking that, well, maybe this time it'll yield the results I'm looking for. I feel like there's a fine line between the two, and you have to understand what side of the line you're on. It's okay. No matter what, it's all a part of your learning process. You're learning right now. But the biggest lesson you have to learn is how to pivot quickly. Because the longer it takes for you to learn something, the harder it is for you to pivot. And when I mean pivot, I mean moving on to the next thing to help you grow even more, right? Pivot meaning growing more. In some cases, we can get stagnated and stuck on one particular thing, and that's just it. And sometimes our spirit guides or the universe will tell us when it's time to move on, or when it's time to pivot. And in some cases, we don't listen to that voice. Why? Who knows? But all I know is that voice will continue to nag you. I don't even like using the word nag, because it's guidance. Guidance is never nagging. Although it can be if you're not willing to take that information then and there. So your spirit guides, your universe, whatever, will continue to nag you and say, hey, it's time to move, it's time to move, right? It's time to move. But we all have our time. If we feel like we're not ready to move yet, it's because we haven't finished learning whatever lesson it is we need to learn. And we all came to this planet to learn something. But most importantly, we came here to be the greatest version of ourselves. And part of being a great version of yourself is having fun with the process. I feel like the process shouldn't have to be too painful, to the point where you can't manage it. Growth is always going to be painful because it's different. Growth is always going to be painful because you're stepping into a version of yourself that you've never met before. But I feel like whenever you are ready, whenever you finish learning whatever lesson it is you came to learn, then it's time to move. And sometimes that lesson may take a little longer. That lesson may take some days, some weeks, some months, some years. It all depends on the lesson that you came here to learn. But nonetheless, you're learning and you're growing every single day. Don't ever think that everything you go through isn't for your greatest benefit. Because everything that happens for us, not to us, but for us, is for our greatest benefit. Nothing ever happens by mistake. There are no accidents or coincidences. Only different stages in life that teach us new lessons to carry on into the next stage. So whatever lesson that life has to offer for you, just make sure that you get it, right? Just make sure that you get it. Because if you don't, well, history repeats itself. But all in all, you're doing a great job. All in all, you're doing a great job. You wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't doing a great job. It's confirmation that you are on the right path, that you are becoming the greatest version of yourself, that you are not hindering your growth, right? That you are making sure that everything you do is in alignment with your purpose. So you're doing a great job, whether you realize it or not. You're doing great. That's what this video is all about. You have to become the foundation of your life. You have to make sure that you have a solid foundation for your life. What does that mean? That means having the proper habits. That means having the proper routines. That means going inward first and foremost before you do anything. I have a saying that I say every morning along with a long list of affirmations. And the first thing I say is, I honor who I am today and every day. First and foremost, before you do anything, before you speak to anyone, before you absorb any kind of content, right? You honor who you are first, and then you go about your day. Once you honor who you are, you essentially take hold of the day. You make the day whatever it is you want it to be, instead of having it dictated by sources outside of you, right? Always remember that you are in control. You are in control of your reality. You are in control of everything that happens to you. You are in control. You have to be the foundation for everything that you do in your life. And essentially, you're setting the foundation for your family as well. Again, if you're watching this, you're breaking generational curses. And being the one to break generational curses means that you have to be the foundation for your family, past and present, and future. You have to be the foundation. I know it's frustrating. It can be. It can be a challenge. But who better to take on the challenge than you? Your ancestors called on you to be the one to change, to pivot, to be the one to change the trajectory of your family legacy. Now that sounds big, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not, at least not to you. Because you wouldn't be here right now if you weren't able to handle it. None of us would be. You wouldn't think the way you think if you weren't able to handle it, right? You wouldn't be watching this video right now if you weren't able to handle it. So therefore, you have everything you need to become this foundation for the rest of your family's legacy. They're gonna make shrines of you. They're gonna honor who you are because you honored yourself first and foremost. They're gonna remember your name because you left behind something that is immeasurable, something that's so big, something that's so great that you can't even fathom it. Maybe not in this moment, but trust and believe that the future thanks you for what it is you're doing right now. You may not see it right now, but trust and believe that it's amazing. It's amazing. But only if you believe it so. Whatever you believe to be true, it comes into reality. So if you think you're making change, if you think you're helping others become greater versions of themselves, if you think you are a multimillionaire in the making, not even in the making, you are a multimillionaire, period. If you think that, then it is so. If you believe that you are breaking generational curses, if you believe that you are creating a family legacy that'll outlive you, then it is so. There's nothing else you need to think about. The number one thing that I'm always concerned about is doing. Not how exactly, but just doing. I feel like how is none of my business. I leave that up to my guides, my ancestors, and the universe. Because I already have all the answers within me. Therefore, there's nothing to really overthink. I just have to do. And my instincts will naturally kick in. But your natural instincts come from the practices that you do every single day, from the rituals that you practice every single day. There's nothing to fear, there's nothing to worry about. Because everything you need is already within you. You wouldn't be doing the things you're doing if you didn't think you could do them, or you didn't think you could be a success at them. A lot of people will not understand your journey, and a lot of people will look at you crazy for what it is you're doing. But trust and believe that what it is you're doing is far more beneficial than anybody could ever imagine, because you are literally changing the narrative, right? The old narrative that our parents grew up on, it's slowly crumbling. It's fading every single day. And we are the creators of this universe now. We are the ones that are changing the narrative. We're the ones that are the example that this is all it takes to be authentic, to be who you are, to be true to yourself. That's all it takes. So trust and believe you're doing a great job. Don't let them sway you away from your purpose. Don't let anybody sway you away from your purpose. Because once you realize, the day you realize you are your purpose, your journey begins. Hence the name In My Purpose LLC, right? Hence the name. Anything's possible, because it's all true. Once you're in your purpose, you realize anything's possible. Yeah, anything is possible. Once you realize you're in your purpose, your journey begins. And that's it. That's all I have for you for today. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. Thank you for allowing me to be on this journey with you. I truly believe we do better when we grow together, so let's continue to grow with one another. And as always, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Click that little notification bell down there to get notified whenever I publish another video. And yeah, as always, thank you. Right? Thank you, universe. Thank you for allowing me to be in this position. And I hope this is able to help you to realize that you are already your greatest version. And that's it. And before I go, I'm going to leave you with this. This is a mantra that I repeat to myself every single day. May we be creators and creative. May we be loved and loved. May we be present. May we be free. May we be abundant at all times. Ashe. Peace.